This disclaimer image establishes the channel's mission to help busy home cooks break down complicated recipes into simple visual step-by-step guides. The legal disclaimer ensures transparency about recipe sources and viewer responsibility. Ribollita, hearty Tuscan bean bread and vegetable stew. A classic Italian comfort stew from Tuscany, Ribollita reboiled transforms simple pantry staples into a deeply satisfying meal. This version from Serious Eats by Daniel Gritzer layers diced carrots, butternut squash, turnip, celery, red onion and leek with lacinato kale, creamy cannellini beans and rustic bread cubes that melt into a rich, thick broth, seasoned with a bouquet garni of fresh herbs and finished with a generous drizzle of extra virgin olive oil and Parmigiano Reggiano. It can be served as a chunky soup, a thick porridge, or even cooked down into a crispy golden pancake. Ready in about 65 minutes, serving 6-8. Here is the written ingredient list for Ribollita hearty Tuscan bean bread and vegetable stew recipe guide. Alright, let's get everything gathered before we start. This recipe is really just a big cozy vegetable stew, so most of what you need are fresh veggies and a few pantry basics. Your vegetables. You'll need 1 medium red onion, 1 large leek, just the white and light green parts, skip the dark tough tops, 4 large carrots, about 2½ cups of butternut squash, 1 turnip, and 3 big celery stalks. Everything gets peeled and diced into small cubes, so they're all roughly the same size. Greens and beans. Grab a bunch of lacinato kale. You might see it labeled as dinosaur kale or cavolo nero at the store. You'll also need 2 cups of cooked cannellini beans. Canned is perfectly fine, just save 1 cup of the bean cooking liquid or use plain water if you're going with canned. Aromatics and seasonings. 3 tablespoons of good extra virgin olive oil, 3 cloves of garlic, and a little herb bundle called a bouquet garni. That's just some parsley, oregano, thyme, rosemary, and a bay leaf tied together, plus kosher salt and black pepper to taste. Bread and topping. A 1/4 pound of rustic crusty bread cut into cubes, stale or fresh, either works great. Some grated Parmigiano Reggiano for the top if you like, and about 6 cups of water. That's it, nothing exotic, nothing hard to find. Before we turn on the stove, let's get all our ingredients prepped and ready to go. This makes the actual cooking part smooth and stress-free. First, dice all your vegetables. Peel and cut the red onion, leek, carrots, butternut squash, turnip, and celery into small, even cubes. Try to keep them roughly the same size. This way everything cooks evenly and you won't end up with some pieces mushy while others are still hard. Next, thinly slice your garlic. Take those 3 cloves and cut them into thin slices. Don't mince them. The thin slices will gently melt into the broth as it simmers, spreading garlic flavor throughout the whole stew. Now prep the kale. Hold each leaf and pull it away from the tough center stem. Toss the stems or save them if you want, they'll soften if simmered long enough. Roughly chop the leaves into bite-sized pieces. Make your bouquet garni. Take a few sprigs each of parsley, oregano, thyme, rosemary, and 1 bay leaf, bundle them together, and tie them up with a piece of kitchen twine. This makes it super easy to fish out later when the stew is done. Cube the bread. Cut your rustic bread into roughly 1-inch cubes. Don't worry about being precise, these are going to dissolve into the stew and thicken it up beautifully. Finally, get your beans ready. If you're using canned, just drain and rinse 2 cups worth and measure out 1 cup of water. If you cooked beans from scratch, set aside 1 cup of that flavorful cooking liquid. It adds wonderful depth to the stew. Everything prepped? Great, now we cook. Here we go. The actual cooking is wonderfully simple. Just 5 steps and you'll have a gorgeous Tuscan stew. Step 1. Sauté the garlic, 2-3 minutes. Pour 3 tablespoons of olive oil into a large Dutch oven or heavy soup pot and set it over medium heat. Add your sliced garlic and cook it gently, stirring until it smells amazing and turns just barely golden. Don't let it get dark brown. Burnt garlic tastes bitter. You want it sweet and fragrant. Step 2. Cook the vegetables, 5 minutes. Toss in all your diced vegetables, onion, leek, carrots, squash, turnip, and celery. Stir them around and let them cook for about 5 minutes until they just start to soften. You're not trying to brown them, just warming them through and building that aromatic base. Step 3. Simmer with kale and herbs, 25 minutes. Pour in about 6 cups of water, enough to just cover the vegetables. Add your chopped kale and drop in the bouquet garni. Crank the heat up to bring it to a simmer, then turn it back down to low and let it gently bubble away for about 25 minutes. You want the vegetables really tender and soft. Don't worry about overcooking, that's actually the goal here. Step 4. Add beans and bread. 15 minutes. Stir in your beans along with a cup of bean cooking liquid or water. Add the bread cubes and mix everything together well. Let it simmer for another 15 minutes. The bread will start to break apart and dissolve into the stew, making it wonderfully thick and hearty. If it gets too thick or starts sticking, just splash in a half cup of water at a time. Step 5. Season and serve. Pull out the bouquet garni and discard it. Taste the stew and season generously with salt and pepper. Ladle it into bowls. Give each one a generous drizzle of your best olive oil, a good crack of black pepper, and a shower of grated Parmigiano Reggiano if you like. Serve it as a chunky soup or keep simmering it down for a thicker porridge-like consistency. Both are absolutely delicious.